Well, I think the thinking here is the data we're seeing now are old news. It doesn't incorporate the impact of particularly this latest pivot toward Mexico and the possibility of tariffs there, let alone maybe even the impact of the broader tariffs on China. So to some extent, the markets are discounting even if these car sales numbers, Steve that mentioned, yes, they're strong now, but when these tariffs go on, if prices go up, if the cost feed through the consumer, those numbers won't stay there. And so everyone is looking ahead, and that's where you see the market anticipating that we'll get something from the Fed.
Tariffs have got me well confused, because I've looked at the customs data, and I'm pretty sure it's American companies and individuals that are paying for the tariffs rather than Chinese exporters. Maybe some of that's being passed on, I don't know. But the fact of the matter is, when you get tariffs, you get some form of inflation coming through the system, but then you also get concerns about economic growth as well. So do tariffs lead to higher inflation, hence the Fed has to stand pat, or do tariffs lead to economic deterioration, hence the Fed has to cut?
Well, it's interesting because, Karen, well, you were mentioning break-evens, and they are falling. So inflation expectations, the markets are betting that the economic drag, the slower growth that will put downward pressure on prices, will more than offset the upward pressure that you might see from tariffs. I have to tell you, I'm more worried about the corporate profits business slowdown angle of this rather than the consumer hit or higher inflation. I guess I'm more concerned that businesses will be forced to absorb the cost of the tariffs. They won't be able to pass the cost through to consumers. So it won't be an inflation story. It will be a corporate profits
Can I just sneak in the fact that I'm more concerned that the market's more concerned about the fact they won't be able to have their buybacks anymore? Because every quarter we get these stunning buyback stats, and they are absolutely ginormous. I don't even think ginormous is a real word, but they are big. but the fact of the matter is, I think it's about buybacks. I think it's a huge, yes, there's a word of the moment. Phenomenal, apparently. Phenomenal trade deal, that's it. 3 times as big as we're doing now. God, we're tying it all together here. But I'm more concerned about the buybacks, and I think that's what the market's saying. Have we got the ammo to do more buybacks?
I guess, but I even myself, who tends to be an economic optimist, I am quite concerned now by the unpredictability of recent actions from the president, and that will cool investment. So they won't be doing buybacks, but they also may not be investing, and more importantly, they may not be hiring as robustly as they were. And that, to me, is a more fundamental concern than even just the lack of buybacks.
Brilliant.